Hello everyone, this is David from LI Matters, looking forward to our 2014 episode. Back to business, back to school, lots of good things going on, Network of the Month. Thanks to our sponsors for making it possible. Thanks to Long Island NY.TV for teaming up with us. Tune in.
And this month's LI Matters sponsors. Presenting sponsors, The Time Is Now, Butterfly Energy. Home and Safety Modifications, Universal Designs for Life, Genesis Creations. Your Security, She Takes It Personally, The Alarm Lady. Best of Long Island Award winner, proudly serving Long Island for more than 20 years, The Bug Stops Here. Jerry Dolan, Northport, New York, Suffolk's first farmers insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
More than merchant services, Fusion. There's no time for downtime. 2000 Computer Solutions. From studs to stunning, floors decor, and more.
Hello everyone, my name's David. Welcome to September 2014 LI Matters. I had this whole thing planned out when I started the show that I was going to sound real corporate. I was going to take it away. I was going to throw a piece of paper and I was going to say, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on. And it was going to be about a fresh start and kicking off the rest of the year and all that. But I was talking to my producer before the show, and he happened to mention to me about a relative who had polio many years ago. And I had told him, while I don't have heroes in this world, there are some people that I would admire more than others. When Dr. Jonas Salk created the cure for polio, and they asked him about who's going to hold the patent, Dr. Salk said, I give it to the people. Who holds the patent on the sun? When I was talking to my producer about it, we came up with a John Wooden quote. It's amazing what happens when people work together and no one cares who gets the credit. This show, LI Matters, it's built by Long Islanders, it's built for Long Islanders, and the hope is to make a difference in Long Island and beyond, because Long Island, New York, when it comes to this show, is an absolute trendsetter. We do got a great show for you. Back to school, back to business. Going to be talking about charities in Long Island. We got our Networker of the Month, who's just what an act to follow. She deserves it. And aside from that, thank you all. Thank you. Thank my producers. Thank to the Long Island business community. No one does anything by themselves. We'll be back right after this to show you.
And this month's LI Matters sponsors. Presenting sponsors, The Time Is Now, Butterfly Energy. Home and Safety Modifications, Universal Designs for Life, Genesis Creations. Your Security, She Takes It Personally, The Alarm Lady. Best of Long Island Award winner, proudly serving Long Island for more than 20 years, The Bug Stops Here. Jerry Dolan, Northport, New York, Suffolk's first farmers insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
More than merchant services, Fusion. There's no time for downtime. 2000 Computer Solutions. From studs to stunning, floors decor, and more.
And we're back. Hey, it's another school year 2014-2015. I know the beginning of the school year was my daughter's favorite time. That's when they got all their school supplies. They went home. They put everything so neatly together. It was a very exciting time of year. 2 points about the school year before we bring out our expert, Lynn Miner-Rosen. She'll inform us more than I ever can. But one thing I noticed about school, just like in life, it only takes a few to ruin things for many. I wish there was a way for it to come up that there could be 30 kids in the class listening to the teacher with great spirits, and one bratty kid in the class could ruin it for everyone. Let's stop letting that happen. Let's start setting the thing that the few don't ruin things for the many. And my second thought about education that's always been important to me, everybody matters. Too many people think that they don't matter. I was talking with friends last week, and we were talking about SP classes. And SP classes, when we were young, meant to be for the smart kids, and that's very nice. But you know what? If you're telling 20 to 30 kids that they're smart, you're telling the other 200-something kids in the school that they're not smart. So instead of saying we want to get smart too, they start saying stuff like, we don't care, or it's not that important. I like people to start looking at things a little differently, package things a little better. So these changes that we're trying to instill from Long Island, New York, which are just changes that should be common sense. Business and community coming together, working all cylinders, working for the best. It's these type of little intricacies that I hope to work on to make things better. Anyway, let's get to a real expert. With us today, Lynn Miner-Rosen, ADHD coach. The lady tutored my daughter. What more do I have to say? She tutored over her SATs. My daughter's an honor student at NYU these days. She must have done a pretty good job. Lynn.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me here.
No, my pleasure. Lynn, before we get into school, this show is made up of Long Islanders, and it's Long Islanders and what we call this networking world, or what we call this smart business activity world. Here you are, a teacher, an educator, and all those things. Some people, what's she doing in this networking world? Well, what are you doing in this networking world? Tell our viewers.
Well, as an entrepreneur, in addition to being a teacher, I'm developing a business, and I really count on networking to work with my clients and to get more clients and to also help others if I can.
Yeah, you're not afraid. Guys, I use the term igniting business, which is about using multiple tools. So, we would think of a teacher as all very well behaved and all good, and God knows that she's very well behaved. But my point is, you're not afraid. You're not afraid whether to go to an event. You're not afraid to come here and do a TV show. You're not afraid to try and do seminars. You try to do multiple things to help get your business out there. What's been successful for you?
Well, in addition to social media, which has been very successful, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, that's all been very good for me. The one-on-one, the personal connections with the people in Long Island, whether they're professionals in education or somebody that knows somebody that needs help.
Yeah. Lynn, your specialty is ADHD coaching because you're a whole life coach. That means you could cover everyone. But you've used your expertise to work with children, particularly high schoolers and college students.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my one thought is when we were younger, I don't know how old you are, but we're around the same age, we didn't have this ADHD stuff. There was a little brat in the class and he was put into the corner.
Yeah.
Now it's ADHD, never mind all the medicines and this and that. We want our viewers to have their kids start off with a great school year. That's why you're here. Could you help us?
Sure. Just like an athlete needs a coach, so do students that struggle in school. They need a coach. And what I do is I specialize as an ADHD coach, and I help students that are struggling with the typical problems that they might have with ADHD, like time management, organization, study skills.
Sounds like every business owner I know in Long Island.
Well,
go on.
absolutely.
Not every business owner, but many of them. Go on.
But as a coach for college students or teenagers, I partner with them. It's a very positive, supportive, non-judgmental way that I work with them. So I'm not a tutor and I'm not a therapist, but I'm somebody that can really break down what they need into small steps so they can have success during school and forever.
Well, I know my daughter was just very comfortable with you, and that matters too.
Good.
People would learn, right? People are more comfortable with different people as far as learning from them. That must play a big factor in your success.
It does, and the fact that I have 10 years of teaching experience as a special education teacher and the specific training as an ADHD coach that you have to get.
As far as ADHD children and children in general, you've been a teacher, this is your living. Give our viewers the top 3 tips heading into the 2014-15 year. Not tops, everyone's different, but 3 things that you would say stand out from the crowd.
Well, the biggest thing now that it's back to school is sleep. And sleep issues affect everybody, but I think it's important for students to get into the routine of going to sleep at the same time and waking up at the same time, especially before school, not waiting until the day before school.
So simple, but it matters. I've heard different things, but sleep matters. They say be well rested. So sleep, number 1.
Yep.
Number 2.
Number 2 is to make a calendar, whether it's a family calendar or a personal calendar for a student in college, and lay out what you need to do every day, what the special occasions are, if you have any kind of sports or activities after school, and put it out there, either in a family calendar in a main place of your house or someplace that you carry with you.
2 simple things so far: sleep, a calendar. Number 3.
Be prepared the night before school, because mornings are treacherous and everybody knows it no matter what age you go to school. So put together your backpack, your notebook, make sure your pencils are sharpened, lay out your clothes for the next day, and make sure it's done before you go to sleep, the night before, so you don't have that rush in the morning.
Lynn, those were great tips. We have one more minute or two. In the business world, they always talk about the word accountability. That when someone's accountable to themselves, it's sort of like not being accountable to anyone because you're not going to beat yourself up. But if you're accountable to someone else, you feel more responsible to get it done. I know this plays a role in what you do. Give us your thoughts,
Very
Lynn.
much. Well, that's what makes ADHD coaching so different than any other type of coaching or tutoring is the students, the client is the student, they are accountable to me every single day. And so at the end of a session, which we meet once a week, we come up together with things that they need to achieve for that week. And they have to be accountable. So they have to check in with me either by text message or email, and they have to check in every day. So they're accountable.
And as I'm thinking, one of the things I like about that is they're always accountable to their parents, and that leads the
Right.
parent thing to have a different voice, a different mind, someone else
That's
to listen
right.
to, gives it a little bit of a different thing to it.
And no nagging.
No nagging. Thank God. I nag my clients all the time. Lenny, thank you for joining us
Thank
to
you
kick
so
off
much.
the 2014 school year. Could you tell our viewers
great.
we'll be back right after this?
Sure, we'll be back right after this.
Thank you, Lynn.
And this month's LI Matters sponsors, presenting sponsors, The Time Is Now, Butterfly Energy, Home and Safety Modifications, Universal Designs for Life, Genesis Creations, Your Security, She Takes It Personally, The Alarm Lady, Best of Long Island Award winner, proudly serving Long Island for more than 20 years, The Bug Stops Here, Jerry Dolan, Northport, New York, Suffolk's first farmers insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
More than merchant services. Fusion. There's no time for downtime. 2000 Computer Solutions. From studs to stunning, floors decor, and more.
And we're back. Our next guest isn't even supposed to be here. Dr. Mary Carlson from Shoes to All was supposed to be here, but she got called away on business. So we have the honor and to have John Hassler from the Shoes for All board, also owner of 2000 Computer Solutions, with us. John, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you.
This is not the first time me and John have had the honor of working together. John Hassler is everything that we like to exemplify in the Long Island business community. That simple, wonderful mixture of mixing business with community. Shoes for All will be holding a fundraiser November 12th, but as long as we have John here, and as long as we're getting ready to end 2014 strong, I do want to get some tech tips from him. So, John, sorry.
On the spot,
He told
John.
me
There
he
you
told
go.
me it's about Shoes for All.
It
You
is.
know, I'll discuss business, but sorry, I got to make
Sure.
my viewers happy.
Okay.
One thing, guys, 2000 Computer Solutions, they fix your computers fine. They help you use your computers to make your company grow. It's not supposed to be something you fix. It needs to give it value. John, value, end of the year coming, cloud, all this different stuff going on. You're not here to talk about computers, but I'm asking you to.
Okay.
Best tech tips to end 2014, buddy.
All right, best tech tips. You know what? Technology is a tool. That's a phrase we've termed this year. Technology really is a tool. It's really a tool that's going to help us work, going to help us be productive, be more efficient, make more money. If we can make more money, we can help more people. So that's the goal. People think, oh, I'm going to get an iPad, I'm going to get a special phone, I'm going to get computers. That's all well and good. How are you going to use those computers? How are you going to roll those systems out to make it work? So we take a combination of seeing what software works best for a company, seeing what hardware platform it has to be on, whether it be a Mac or a Windows platform, and then put it all together, securing it. And then we're also the ones who can support it. And if something should go bump in the night or you should need a repair, you know, we're the guys that can do that as well. So I'm really proud to say that we don't outsource our work. We do everything ourselves. It's my own staff. They're wonderful people. People and businesses just seem to love my crew, and I love them dearly. They've been great. They don't let us down.
You started it at what, a garage 18 years ago? Or was it 1999?
Very
Maybe a
close,
little while
very
longer.
close. Yeah, sure. It was It was 1998. It was in my basement. That's where it started. And I was with Jack Cyril, he's still with me today. So he was the first, my employee, I guess, number 2, because I was number 1. He's still with me today, and then we added people on. I've got a great engineer in Andrew Saucy and Laurie Augustinson. I can go down the list of people, but we don't have time. It's really about Shoes for All. But thanks for talking about that. And I guess a tip would be, earlier this year, and I remember in January we spoke, that Microsoft was stopping support for Windows XP. So there's been a big push, and a lot of those computers did get taken off the market. People stopped using them. They moved to some may have moved to a Mac computer, but most people moved to Windows 7, Windows 8 platform. But believe it or not, there's still about close to 20% in the United States of Windows XP computers that are being used in the United States.
That's a lot, considering you're saying there's not a thing to handle the problems.
That's correct. Microsoft does no longer provide support, free support. So basically, like the banking industry, they have an exemption because they're paying Microsoft to protect their computers. Like the ATMs, a large percentage of those ATMs, the majority of ATMs, are still running Windows XP. But Microsoft is under contract with these different financial institutions to protect them. They're not giving those contracts to John Q. Public and Jane Q. Public.
Should people move to something, or should they adjust what they're doing with Microsoft?
They should. Microsoft is still a great platform. It's inexpensive when you compare it to other computing platforms out there. And what's nice about it is just about every computer component is going to be able to run with it. So that's what makes it nice. It makes it more affordable for people to use. And it's a good platform. And if you still have to use XP because sometimes there's a special piece of software or a special system that for whatever reason just is not compatible, there are ways that you can still operate that computer in a safe fashion. I mean, we have some clients, believe it or not, that we can't take off of that platform. But we have those clients behind firewalls. We do a couple of extra things to protect them.
Yeah. Boy, if I wanted to get into conspiracy theories and all that of why Microsoft did this and spend no money, I could, but you're not here to discuss computers.
No, not at all.
We're here to discuss Shoes for All. Started 4 years ago this month.
That's right.
I believe they collected 23,000 pair of shoes, started by Dr. Mary Carson. John works with many charities, but he's on the board of this one. John, what is Shoes for All about, and what made it that you joined their board?
Sure.
What do you
Well,
got?
you hit it. You did your homework. 23,000 pairs of shoes across Long Island in just 4 short years. And those shoes went to men, women, and children.
People need shoes.
People need shoes.
People in Long Island and the richest region of the world need shoes.
That's correct. That's
Right,
correct. And if you think about it, we have 4 seasons here. So we have, everything from sandals, then we go into the winter months where we need warmer shoes. So there's more of a need.
Boots for all.
Boots on the ground, as they
Yes.
say. So everything from different religious organizations, hospitals, women's shelters, family shelters, veterans stand down, you name it. And if they ask for help, if they ask for shoes, we'll do the best we can to match up the proper shoes with the individual that's going to get.
Yeah, you have a great team you work with that too. Besides Dr. Carlson, you got Elaine de Blasio, Mike Feiner, a fellow attorney. Nice Long Island. Long Island is doing what they can to help in the community.
That's true. There's a little army of people that are there that are taking care of things. And we all used to laugh when we went to the bowling alley and we rented shoes and they'd spray that little stuff in there to clean them out. Well, let me tell you, when they get a pair of shoes, they really go the distance on those. Those shoes get as close to new as you possibly can.
Well, that's why we have a fundraiser taking place November 12th. It wouldn't seem it maybe to some, but the cleaning of the shoes, the storage of the shoes, the transportation of the shoes to where it does take some money to run.
It definitely does. It definitely does. And so that's why every year we try to have 1 or 2 different fundraisers to raise some funds just to keep the cost of those materials down for us.
Shoes for All keeps the word fun in fundraisers. The last 2 years it's been a comedy fundraiser. They were both great. I was out in both. Good stuff at the Brokerage Comedy Club.
Yes.
This year we're having a dance party at the Jones Beach Hotel, November 12th. What could our viewers know about it as far as the date? What could they possibly do to help?
Sure. Well, it's real simple. Just come on down and have a good time. We ask that you purchase tickets in advance. So you can contact any one of us at Shoes for All. I'm sure we'll get that information up to you, during or at the end of this this broadcast here. But if you see me, hey John, I want to come. Definitely, we'll send you tickets. But what we're really doing now is we're trying to go after corporate sponsors. So we have different levels of sponsorship. $50, $100. Some guys will give even more, and that's great because it really is a good cause. Many of my friends would laugh at me and say, John, what's a guy doing in collecting shoes? What's the matter with you? And, it was one of those things. I got to know the people inside, involved, with Shoes for All. And it just felt like something that I could do, it's simple. I can put shoes in a bag, and I can collect, and I can go out and talk and try to raise funds. So that's my small little component, that I try to help with. So yes, there are much more things that are going on in this world that need help. Physical ailments, cancer, heart association, all great things. And no one's saying we can't help them and can't fundraise them.
You help Betty.
Right, but this is one of the things that's really a nice grassroots organization. And believe it or not, these shoe collection organizations are throughout the country. So if you look in Las Vegas, Nevada, they have it. If you look in California, different areas of so it's there. So the need is there. The need's across the country. I'm sure it's around the world, that this need. It just goes hand in hand. We throw our clothes. Many of us will throw clothes in the clothing bins. This just takes one step further because, like I said, it's just not going in a big pile and pick out the shoes. The shoes are sorted, cleaned, yeah. and we're looking to have a good time. We always try to have some fun with it. So November 12th, we're so glad that you've really stepped up big. You always have, and really you've gone above and beyond for this coming event. And tickets for individuals are just $25, a ticket. It's going to be a good night with the corporate sponsorships. That includes a ticket for the people that want to come. I think there's food. There's a DJ. You got your buddy, coming down. Shamari's going to be there. We have Bennett Golds helping us out with the graphics and the design. We have Patrick Trzynski helping us out with our website. So it really is nice that, like you always say, Long Islanders really have come out in big numbers to try to help us.
Yeah, guys, this whole premise of the show is if it bleeds, it leads, and hate makes headlines, and to spread an opposite to that. And it ain't about me being an excitable guy. It's about working with gentlemen like John Hassler, even all the co-sponsors who sponsor the show. So many, Christine Laurier and
Sure.
Steve Free and Jerry Dolan and Joe Haramis.
Right,
these
all
people.
good people. Yeah.
Guys like this. This show is built by Long Islanders for Long Islanders because the regular news media is not going to feature this. Businesses coming together, all doing their thing for business, but then mixing it with good stuff in the community. It's everything we've been doing for years together, buddy.
Correct. It is.
Good stuff. John, I always ask our guests for help. Could you tell our viewers we'll be back right after this?
We'll be back right after this.
Thank you, John. Thanks for being here, buddy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And this month's LI Matters sponsors, presenting sponsors, The Time Is Now, Butterfly Energy, Home and Safety Modifications, Universal Designs for Life, Genesis Creations, Your Security, She Takes It Personally, The Alarm Lady, Best of Long Island Award winner, proudly serving Long Island for more than 20 years, The Bug Stops Here, Jerry Dolan, Northport, New York, Suffolk's first farmers insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
More than merchant services. Fusion. There's no time for downtime. 2000 Computer Solutions. From studs to stunning, floors decor, and more.
And we're back. I almost turned the shooting of this whole show upside down. I wanted to start out with great energy. I wanted to start out with great talent. I was going to take our Networker of the Month and move him into the first slot. But, my producers told me differently, so I just stayed with the program. But there's the part of the program where we talk about Networker for the Month. And here we are, we talk about igniting business and being successful. I was watching Tony Robbins the other day. He said, you want to be successful? Emulate someone who does what you want to do. Find someone in your field that's already successful and start copying some of the things that they do. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to Margaret Beagleman. Margaret Beagleman, welcome.
Thank you, David.
Margaret, we haven't even known each other that long. And I called you the other day. I was so excited, and I said, Margaret, I want you to be Networker of the Month. And she was like, sure. And then I told you it was dinner for two at Chow Baby.
Yes, thank
and
you.
she was like, great, I know, Patricia. You go to Chow Baby without dinner for two or not.
Right.
But guys, like last month's Ty Vicari, this was a no-brainer. I even put it on my phone here. I didn't want to forget. Let me get this right. She's the vice president of the Merrick Chamber of Commerce. She's a member of the Merrick Kiwanis Club. She's part of the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 1282 and the Belmore Lions Club. She's a top producer at Douglas Elliman. Her face is all over billboards, all over Merrick and Belmore area. So here's a woman that's giving back to the community, doing great business in the community. Hey, I talk about igniting business. I claim they say David's the best connector in Long Island, Margaret, for my own selfishness. Every one of my sponsors, I look at this for real, back to igniting business. Say we're a Panera in the morning. Mm-hmm. Every single one of our sponsors, you have a business synergy with, except for one, the credit card merchanting services. And mind you, as a businesswoman, you might have a synergy with them because you could have with anyone. Mm-hmm. But the others, guys, real estate affects everything. It's the realtor who gets the electrician work. It's the realtor who gets the new gardener work. It's the realtor who gets the home improvement person work. You are like a magnet of business, so you have to, I apologize for my selfishness, but I had to have you here, Ann. Congratulations on being the Networker of the Month.
Thank you. Thank
How did you get so successful, Margaret Beagleman? Tell the crowd.
Just a lot of hard work. I love what I do. I love helping buyers and sellers find their home and move on with their life. It's stressful enough, and I take the stress out. And I work 7 days a week, and I enjoy doing it.
You know, it's funny when you see Margaret at the events and you see her picture on the bus stops and the billboards and everything, and you see her like statuesque, you'll see that she's so comfortable in front of crowds. Yet when I see you, it's not you're that comfortable, but somehow you overcome it. You get involved in all these things, Margaret. Why do you do it? What's your take on it? I mean, the chamber, the Kiwanis Club, how's it helped you, and why do you do what you do?
Well, networking is what it's all about. This is a people's business, and I enjoy being with people, and I like giving back to the community, so I help out with all the organizations and give back where I can.
Okay, very good. Real estate, summertime's supposed to slow down, and I don't think it was that. Here it was busy this summer, but now it's supposed to get busy again. End of the year buying. Mm-hmm. Any tips for our viewers?
Well, if you're thinking about selling your home, price it right. It's all about pricing. A lot of sellers, sometimes they don't get that, and they want to test the market. And I've sold homes in a day, in an hour, in a week, and the sellers that price their home right move quickly.
Yeah, guys, I use that term once again, igniting business, which is about using multiple tools, mixing web and warmth, make yourself easy to remember, get out there and make things happen. One quick thing, success here, you own MargaretBeagleman.com.
Yes, I do.
Man, you're going to go work for a company, you're going to go brand. Who could you brand better than yourself? When Margaret Beagleman's willing to put her name in the line, right away you're telling people you're not hiding anything. What are some of the tools you use? I had mentioned some of them, but when you look at it, the bus stops, the chambers, you use social media very well. Do you like one more than the other? You're just always trying to do smart things? What's your approach to this?
Well, I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but Facebook is where I try to focus my daily info to consumers.
Yeah, they think I'm happy. She's putting up smiley faces every day and all that kind of stuff. By the way, as Networker of the Month, September Network of the Month, you win dinner for two at Chow Baby. Coincidentally, that's where we first met.
Yes.
Chow Baby, working at Patricia, being in Merrick, the Panera Bread. Mm-hmm. What, guys, my opinion's biased. This woman, she's a realtor. What's your opinion of these real estate lunches, these Paneras? How do they affect you? What do you see taking place there? Because it's not just a regular group. No. It's more like stuff is taking place when you're there.
Well, it's on Monday morning at the Panera, it's a great way to start business, a great way to ignite business and start the week. David is full of energy, and you meet nice people, and that's where business takes place.
Yeah, Panera, you've been working with Patricia Stein over there, and they have nice events going on at both Chow Babies. Right. They run real estate networking nights. Do you get to participate in those? I know you are busy.
I haven't gone to the Comac events, it's just a little far, but the Massapequa events I go to.
Okay, successful businesswoman, Networker of the Month. We have about a minute or two left. That camera's yours. What do you got to tell Long Islanders, Margaret Beagleman? Think of something good.
Well, the real estate market is very good. I've never been busier. If you're thinking about selling, price it right, declutter. You only have one chance to launch the listing. All the buyers view it online. We do high quality photos, and it's the perfect time.
Margaret One, I thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Viewers, I thank you for joining us. I thank our sponsors for making this possible. Butterfly Energy, Genesis Creation, our presenting sponsors, all of our other sponsors. As we've said several times, this show is built by Long Islanders for Long Islanders. Could you help me tell our viewers that we'll see you next month?
We'll see you next month.
See you next month. Thank you very much.
At LI Matters, we want to know what matters to you. Send your answers to LongIslandNYTV@gmail.com with LI Matters in the subject line, and we may feature them in an upcoming segment. This has been LI Matters with David Gussin. Thanks for watching. See you next time.